Today, it's finally here, graduation day. We're taking Project Old Skool out of the classroom and out on the road. We'll take a look back to see the changes our F-100 has gone through along the way, and then do a little postgraduate work out on the streets. It's all today here on Trucks.
Hey, welcome to Trucks. Today, we're going to take you on a journey. We're going to take a look back at Project Old Skool and reminisce about its humble beginnings and walk you through its complete rejuvenation and total transformation that brings us to where we are today, standing beside one of the most popular vehicles ever to come out of the truck shop.
The Project Old Skool represents a fairly common scenario for a lot of people, finding a previously restored or customized vehicle badly in need of a second chance. And these finds are still out there. They can be reasonably inexpensive to get your hands on, and if you're willing to forgive a few sins of the past from previous owners, or even overlook someone else's sense of style that may not be your own, you can see a diamond in the rough, like we did.
We found this 53 F-100 cheap in the local classifieds. Chevy drivetrain on a Ford? Yeah. Neglected? Yes. Worn out? Well, yeah, but it still had that great fat-fendered look of a classic F-100 that was begging for a new life. So we pulled it all apart, took a long, hard look at what we had, and hatched a plan. So what do you do when you wind up with a truck with a Ford skin, a Chevy Nova clip, and a GM drivetrain? Well, the truth is that this was a pretty common mod back when this truck was first rebuilt. There's a lot of clip trucks out there, and the work we found was pretty good.
So rather than replace the frame or get into major reconstruction, which can get a little pricey, we decided to run with what we brung and stick with GM running gear. But first it had to be safe, so we beefed up some of the welds where they had grafted the Nova clip onto the original frame and started in on creating the stance that we wanted.
We knew we wanted an air suspension, not only for adjustability and ride control, but for reliability as well. And Air Ride Technologies had a universal forelink for the rear and shockwaves and control arms to take care of the front.
Under the hood, these custom scripted valve covers from Innovators West were one of the last things we added to our new 350. And as good as this engine bay looks now, it's been a lot of work. Starting with getting rid of the tired 305 and getting a fresh start with a solid foundation in the form of a remanned 4-bolt main 350. This provided us with a base to add some functional eye candy in the form of an Edelbrock top-end kit and their new dual quad setup and their Endurashine finish. It may be named Old Skool, but we've incorporated tons of modern parts like this SERP system from Zoops that buys us clearance, mounts our accessories, and looks great doing it.
Behind the block, we used a bulletproof Boulder tranny. Out back, we got a little lucky with the rear axle and then stuffed it with a clutch-type posi unit and a 373 ratio ring and pinion set that'll work great with our custom transmission.
Now there's a lot of great bolt-on exhaust kits out there, but none for an old Ford truck with a new Chevy engine. So what'd we do? Well, we started with a set of cast block hugger headers and then decided to fab our own pipes with a universal hot rod kit from MagnaFlow that is totally custom, and since it's stainless steel, it's durable as well.
Now, you never want to increase engine performance without also increasing your braking performance. And we accomplish this without throwing a high-dollar braking system on this truck by using these slotted rotors and carbon metallic pads. Now, this combined with our frame-mounted booster and master cylinder tucks it all in tight in true hot rod fashion and cleans up our firewall to boot.
The worn-out bed was another sore spot and an area where we could have fixed what we started with. But when you factor in labor and materials, we came out ahead with our Pro's Pick bed kit, complete with a brand new oak wood floor.
We knew that we were going to get some serious wheels and tires for this thing, so we had to make room for them. And Bebop's Glassworks had the perfect set of fenders with their 3-inch wider rears and stock replacement front fiberglass fenders that'll facilitate our big and little stands. And that left us with a multicolored empty shell with a kick-butt drivetrain. Now that was a great start, but it was nowhere near roadworthy like it is right now. So after the break, we're going to show you guys how Old Skool went to paint school. Stay with us.
Next up, we'll put the finishing touches on Old Skool. And later, we're hitting the road.
Hey, welcome back. Project Old Skool here has been a labor of love and a great way for us to pay tribute to a classic era of hot rodding. We're about to see whether our goal of creating a head-turning classic out of a worn-out has-been was accomplished.
Now, if you're just joining us, we're taking you back in time and looking at one of the most popular vehicles that we've done on trucks. We're just about to get knee-deep into the styling phase.
And with our drivetrain button down, it was time to define our style a little more clearly, and wheels and tires play a huge role in that. So we decided on classic-looking Coker wide whites with 235/70/15s on 8-inch wheels up front and massive 285/70s mounted on 10-inch wheels out back. That, combined with the 1.5-inch rake we designed into our air suspension, gets this truck sitting with one mean attitude.
Yeah, but that attitude needed some character that would complement the wide whites and steelies. And you guys know that any paint job is only as good as the foundation it's sitting on. And Old Skool needed some serious finessing. So we got rid of the glass, filled holes in the doors, holes in the cab, and holes in the firewall. Then leveled and smoothed it all until it was ready for priming and blocking. Now, it's no secret that it takes a lot of handwork to smooth out a body, especially one without a flat panel on it.
So we showed you how to use a longboard and straighten out the waves and really get the body smooth and flat and ready for paint. With the truck back in the booth, we shot our own recipe of a flat black base clear that won't chalk up and fade like primer, and mocked it up one more time to check the fit and get a glimpse of what she's going to look like finished. Now, another issue we ran into when we started was this 50-year-old wiring harness that had been hacked on and spliced into and was definitely ready for retirement.
So we called Ron Francis Wiring and got a custom harness built for our truck with plenty of circuits for any accessories we could possibly throw at it.
While we were at it, we rebuilt the factory battery box and installed our fuel tank into its new home behind the axle, ran all new fuel lines and filters, and connected the plumbing and control systems for the new air springs.
Once we terminated a few electrical connections, we threw the fire to it and heard the beast roar for the first time. When you're bringing a vehicle back from an empty shell, it becomes a big, big job. But if you take it one system at a time, it's easy to keep track of. Now, we've made this truck run better, stop better, and we definitely made it look better. Next, it was time to make sure it was going to stay cool. With a fully polished APCO radiator with its own shrouded cooling fan as the centerpiece, we hand-formed our own radiator support and used over-the-counter hoses to route the cooling.
Then we made sure that we're going to stay cool with an AC heater system from Old Air Products designed to fit right into the factory location.
That was followed by some serious insulation, a cool interior kit, and a custom upholstered seat to top it all off.
All that was followed by installing new glass, a cool wood bed floor back there, some new and replated chrome and stainless pieces, and some really nice finishing touches on the inside.
Now, one of the last things we're going to do to this truck is also one of the coolest, which is install our new custom-made emblems for Project Old Skool. Now, we've had a lot of help with this truck, and we want to send a big shout-out to Steve Longacre and Matt Hawkins for helping us design these logos. And also to thank Bruce and Andrea and everybody at Motorhead Jewelry for bringing our logos to life with these cool chrome steel emblems that are actually three-dimensional, hand-formed. They're going to find a happy home right here on the tailgate. And with that, along with hundreds and hundreds of hours of work on and off camera, this is Project Old Skool. So when we come back from the break, we're going to be out on the road seeing what this thing will do on the streets.
Hang on, because it's time to play a little hooky away from the shop.
It's all about cruising, buddy.
Stick around.
Hey, welcome back to Trucks. We got Old Skool out on the asphalt where it was born to be. Only this time, she's beefed up just a little. We're gonna see how much. thing we notice is how true this thing is. There's no wobbles, there's no bumps, there's no rattles or shakes. You let go of the wheel and it tracks true and straight.
Another great thing is this air ride. You can ride around, cruise around at ride height. Nice smooth ride, no bumps, no shakes, no rattles. Pull into your local cruise in, air it out, lay it down, look good. Moving.
Now, as much as the hush mat insulation help, this is still a 50-plus-year-old vehicle, so we've got those aerodynamics working against us, so you're gonna get a little bit of wind noise. Just have to live with it.
Especially with these vent windows, you're just gonna have to deal with it.
Well, that was the air conditioning on this truck.
That's right. And these Coker wide white wall tires really help define the retro look of this truck and offer a nice smooth ride of a modern radial tire without beating you up in the old thump of an old bias ply tire.
That's right, and they're gonna last about 30,000 miles too.
Smooth the whole time.
Yep.
One thing we've noticed, all the heads turning as we drive by. It's something you're not going to get in a modern truck. People just really appreciate the old classic styling of this pickup truck.
Kicking it. Old school. All right. Huh? What do you think?
On air suspension?
Yeah, it's on air ride, universal 4-link out back, shockwaves in the front. Check out the wood kit in the bed.
Yeah, it's nice enough to show or just
Yeah,
daily
yeah.
driving,
Well,
man.
it's reliable, man. It's a 4-bolt main short block from here.
Yeah.
With an Edelbrock top end, dual quad intake.
That's slick, man.
Yeah, it's clean. The firewall's nice and clean. Cleaned up everything.
How many hours ago got this thing?
Hundreds.
Man, you guys did a great job.
Thanks, man.
It looks good.
Appreciate it.
As good as this thing looks when you pop the hood, all that chrome ain't gonna get you home. We've got some reliable stuff under here. Nice new short block, overdrive transmission, aluminum drive shaft, 373 posi rear end, and we're set. This thing's good to go. Hell yeah. Oh, this thing sounds nice.
Don't go anywhere. There's more old school hot rodding when we get back.
Hey, welcome back to Trucks. Finally got Old Skool out of the shop and out on the road where it belongs. See what this thing can do.
There you go.
Yes.
Heck yeah, man. The mirror freaks me out, I gotta tell you.
I know, it takes a little getting used to. Easy there, buddy. Ooh. There's 8 months worth of work you're about to pull out in front of.
It's a really interesting mix of a classic vehicle. The windows are surrounding us. We feel like we're back in a 1953 vehicle, but it's got the ride quality of a late model because basically and literally everything is brand new in this truck. The engine's new, the transmission's new, the driveline is completely new, a balanced aluminum drive shaft from Denny's. So it feels like a brand new vehicle, but it puts you back in time. It's awesome.
Another cool thing is this air conditioning. Keep us cool down in here without overheating. Got the windows rolled up. We're cruising in comfort. Going straight.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Hatfield back end squat.
That's dumb, isn't it?
Yeah, that's all the way down.
That's
in the
what
rear,
I like.
we're up in the front.
We love the look and feel of a restored vehicle, but that wasn't our goal here with Project Old Skool. Our goal was to have a reliable daily driver with all the amenities of a modern vehicle with a classic good look and the appeal of that. We've got it all here, man. We've got a wolf in sheep's clothing to boot.
Yeah, a lot of hard work went into this thing.
Yeah.
It paid off big time.
It does pay off. You know, it's worth it. It's always worth it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys enjoyed watching Project Old Skool come together a fraction as much as we did putting it together, well, now you can have a piece of Old Skool yourself in the form of this cotton t-shirt from PowerblockSwag.com. It's got this great rendering of Old Skool across the back, the truck's chrome logo across the front, and the Old Skool script down the right sleeve. This will cost you about 25 bucks from PowerblockSwag.com. Now, check this out. This Edge Evolution programmer for diesel pickups is the very first programmer that allows you to monitor EGTs, or exhaust gas temperatures. It also displays and clears all check engine codes, adjusts for tire size and speed limiters. You also get alerts such as tranny temp and max RPM, and it mounts in its own custom-designed pod to make it look factory installed. The Evolution also does 0 to 60 and quarter-mile performance tests, and it even shows you its own drag strip Christmas tree so you can test your reaction times. It ships with a USB cable for internet upgrades and is available for early and late Duramax and Ford Power Stroke applications. The Edge Evolution will cost you just about 600 bucks. Thank you for watching Trucks. See you next week.